Alright, no music then, because this has just been getting annoying, so I have to be wary of this headphone jack the next time, huh? Anyhow, hello everyone, welcome to your Queens News Update for Wednesday, September 4th, 2019. Let me make sure I got the date right. Alright, good. Just making sure. So, no comments during the live stream. I have disabled that for tonight because I feel that for time constraints, it's just not really necessary, I feel, to have live comments. So, once this live stream is over, you can pretty much comment below how you feel about any of these stories I'm going to be reading to you all. As far as Hurricane Dorian coverage is concerned, I'm working right now on trying to see if I could live stream tomorrow afternoon, because I have to finish taping my service changes video later tonight, so I'm hoping I can get this done in under an hour. So, I'm going to read through the articles. There's 21 I'm going to be reading through, one from the Post, but 20 from the Queens Courier. So, that being all said, we're going to get right into it and talk about issues going on in the Burrell, Queens. So first up, we're going to talk about an issue that's been going around Auburndale recently. $6.25 million Bayside and Flushing sewer and water main replacement project just 30% complete. It has been causing headaches for drivers and residents alike for months, but the ongoing Bayside sewer and water main replacement project is nearly a third of the way done, according to the project's contractor. Since the Department of Design and Construction, DDC, and Long Island-based construction firm CAC Industries broke ground in May 2018, workers have completed approximately 30% of all upgrades on the project. The $6.2 million project aims to upgrade all sewers and water mains in the neighborhood of Auburndale. So again, they don't get their geography accurate, but I'll quickly mention that. At this point, project manager Boris Sirnian said, CAC is doing everything possible to finish on time. We are currently simultaneously working on several locations with multiple crews in order to expedite the timely completion of the project. The entire project spans from 33rd Avenue from 156th Street to Utopia Parkway and 37th, 38th, and 39th Avenue from Utopia Parkway to 216th Street. DDC and CAC hope to have the project completed by 2021, so wow. Another year. That is... And remember, folks, I work by this area, so that even makes it worse that when I have to walk to Rangew on 35th Avenue, that it makes this completely a stressful situation. I have to constantly keep dealing with it. And also mention that they repaved the sidewalk on 38th Avenue. Sirnian said that there have been several crews on site currently working in 4 locations: Francis Lewis Boulevard and 38th Avenue, 38th Avenue and 209th Street, 37th Avenue and 192nd Street, and 33rd Avenue and 162nd Street. According to Sirnian, construction typically takes place 5 days a week from Monday to Friday, though sometimes CAC crews do work on weekends and evenings in certain business areas per Department of Transportation permits and DDC specifications. The project, which the Department of Environmental Protection funds, includes over 7 miles of new water mains, new storm and sanitary sewers, and 80 new fire hydrants and catch basins. Parking in the area has been a premium since construction began, and residents, as well as people who work in the area, especially my fellow colleagues at Osnum Hall, have experienced trouble finding parking spots. Sirnian said the CAC represents that the DDC office constantly monitor locations to see if the residents can resume parking. Sirnian says a construction zone is not only the actual trench, but equipment, trucking. All this needs some space to operate. The speed of the project, or lack thereof, according to some in the community, have been a great concern for Councilman Paul Fallone. Fallone told QNS back in May that he is troubled by the poor street conditions that have developed in areas of Auburndale as a result of the ongoing sewer and water main project. His office will continue to relay the community's concerns and advocate for the prompt road repair work to both DDC and the lead contractor for the project. For residents interested in project information and updates, contact Community Construction Liaison Letitia James at QED991CCL. Can't tell if that's an underscore. I don't know what that character is. Maybe somebody can make it out in the comments. At gmail.com. Moving on to our next article. Bayside Church fed up with the city's neglect of damages it's caused to street curbs. Leaders and members of the oldest church in Bayside have been waiting over 5 years for the city to fix damages it has caused to curbs outside. Back in the winter of 2014, resident Jack Ursher said the Department of Sanitation plows got too close to the curbs at All Saints Episcopal Church, causing them to crumble. Ursher said that the church reached out to the Department of Transportation over 4 years ago, and to no avail, the damages get worse every year. Ursher said, the city is sure quick to fix fines. We're quick to issue. Okay, here's what it says. The city is sure quick to issue fines to residents with bad sidewalks. But if the city of New York does the damage, getting it fixed is nearly impossible. All Saints pastor Reverend Lawrence G. Burns said the craggy curbs on 40th Avenue are an eyesore for the neighborhood. He added that it's unfortunate that New York City does not care about New York City-owned property. Burns said, if we were responsible for damaging it, we would have sucked it up and fixed it. But we're really not, and we can't afford to suck it up and have it fixed. We just want the city to repair the damage that they have caused. Burns said the church staff have allowed the weeds to grow along the curb in order to hide the extensive damages. Ursher added the community keeps the church and surrounding area in immaculate condition while the city does not. Let me just get some water. I do apologize. Alright, I know where I put it. 2 bottles. There we go. I can stay hydrated, I guess. Well, let me put it up here. Spill on the PS4. Alright, back to the article. Burns said that the church staff has allowed the weeds to grow along the curb in order to hide the extensive damages. Ursher added that the community keeps the church and surrounding area in immaculate condition while the city does not. In April, Assemblyman Edward Braunstein wrote to DOT Queens Commissioner Nicole Garcia as follow-up to his repair request from 2014. In the letter, Braunstein said that Acting Borough Commissioner Jeff Lynch added the location to the curb database for repair under a future curb replacement contract. Alright, so I'm just making sure I'm correctly getting to this. Alright, so Braunstein said, it is outrageous that more than 5 years after DOT indicated that the curbs at All Saints Episcopal Church would be repaired, the work is still not taking place. The curb repair program should be treated as an unfulfilled wish list. The curbs were damaged by a city agency. The DOT promised to repair it, and the work needs to be done now. In the letter, the assemblyman said that the damaged curbs pose a tripping hazard and the pedestrians may become injured from the broken curb. A DOT spokesperson said that if DSNY caused the damage, the church should go to the city's controller office to file a claim, but Nancy McCarthy, parish's secretary and bookkeeper, said they were denied a claim from the controller's office back in 2015 and there was no way for them to make an appeal. DOT added that the church might consider getting the sidewalk fixed themselves in the meantime. So, they may have to get a private contractor involved. Wonder how that's going to end up. While requests to address curb conditions outpace additional resources, the DOT works to make curb repairs as efficiently as it can be rotating through community boards citywide. You know, I'm thinking to save time, we're actually going to play a Channel 7 video regarding our next article. So let me just find it. So I'm going to have to mute my mic while it is playing. Okay. So our next article will come from WABC Television. So let it load up in the meantime. In fact, hang on, is it on YouTube? Because if it's on YouTube, I might actually replay it from CBS New York because it's easier to...
Baking cookies doesn't sell
Oh,
houses.
okay, we don't want to play that. Very quickly, I just want to get to the end of the article. Alright, so DOT will just quickly look into it. Because again, I am trying to save time, of course. Just get rid of my notifications. There we go. So our next story will come from the CBS 2 YouTube page in Jamaica, as a house with trash piling up all over the place is becoming a serious health hazard.
We're going to start tonight in Queens and the dispute over a woman's yard. She faces $300,000 in fines from the city, and still nothing's been done. We're demanding answers tonight. CBS 2's Hazel Sanchez is live with details in Queens. Hazel?
Well, Dana, as you can imagine, it's not been easy for a lot of folks in this neighborhood seeing and smelling what has been piling up in that yard behind me over the past decade. People we spoke with say they've been asking the city to do something about it. We demanded answers from several city agencies.
I do apologize about that, folks. It seems we are having a problem loading the YouTube video at the moment regarding our next story. Very quickly, I just want to mention that I am sharing the video right now, this live stream.
And today there are finally signs that...
Alright, so I'm thinking let's play it from around here, because again, I don't know what's going on here. I'm trying to play this video, and right now I just can't do it at the moment, it seems. Let's see, is it going to buffer? So I got an idea to maybe make it buffer, or at least load up quickly from this point of the video. I think maybe my tablet. Yeah, my tablet's online. That could be a problem. Why I'm not getting the maximum amount of bandwidth. Okay, there we go. So I'm just sharing it right now to my friends on Facebook. That way they know that I am live at least. And there we go. So I'm just making sure that everybody can still join in if they want. Let's see. Can we get the video to load? Okay, yes, the video is loading. The video is loading. So if you're just joining, this is a special Queens News update video because I just want to get my mind off Dorian for a bit. If you are joining in late, you're more than welcome to rewind via the DVR option. Once again, live comments will not be accepted on this video. I have disabled it for this video. When I do Hurricane Dorian coverage tomorrow, which I'll try to see if I can live stream the affiliate from ABC down there. We'll do that probably around 3 or 4 p.m. tomorrow Eastern, because Myrtle Beach is going to see something devastating down there. But this is just to get my mind off the hurricane for a bit, because there are issues that I need to discuss with you all in Queens. So right now, we're going to play a YouTube video, and I'm trying to load it earlier, but apparently it's having a hard time loading. But hopefully if I play it in the background, maybe the video will at least load. So this next story comes from Jamaica. A lady was piling up trash in her house, and local residents have complained because there have been unsanitary conditions that have made it a nightmare to live around that house that is piled up with trash. Make sure I turn my mic off at least, and we'll play the video.
Well, Dana, as you can imagine, it's not been easy for a lot of folks in this neighborhood seeing and smelling what has been piling up in that yard behind me over the past decade. People we spoke with say they've been asking the city to do something about it. We demanded answers from several city agencies, and today there are finally signs that this may get cleaned up. Late this afternoon, firefighters arrived to inspect the home at 154-22 118th Avenue in South Jamaica, Queens, relief to many neighbors who say it's been the source of anxiety for years.
It's torture.
That's how Patricia Johnson describes living next to this. Piles of trash bags as high as the second floor.
And you can't even pass there because there's so much fleas and smelling. There's 6-pound rats running around.
Once another person garbage or somebody else treasure, don't they say that?
57-year-old Carmony Beemel admits she's responsible for the garbage stash. These photos taken last month show bags stored on the roof. The Department of Building says Beemel owes more than $300,000 in fines for failing to maintain a safe and code-compliant property. Since April, she received 4 health summonses for creating conditions conducive to rats. She stuffed the summonses in the fence, telling us she's doing nothing wrong.
It's not garbage, it's recyclable. I do recyclable. I go around and I pick it up so I can make an honest living. So what is the problem?
Neighbors say Beemel's garbage collection in her front and backyards has been a problem for at least 10 years. Their cries to the city for help have gone unanswered until now.
It's a fire hazard. People call the authorities and everything, but it doesn't help anything.
I tired call 311, I tired write letters, I tired complain, and they did nothing.
Mayor de Blasio says he reached out to several commissioners today to find out how the yards got so out of control.
We need to figure out if there are legal concerns, or we need the health department involved, figure out how to get it done.
This afternoon, health inspectors showed up, telling us off camera it might take a court order before the city could go in and haul the mess away. EMS took Beemel to the hospital for evaluation, while firefighters and NYPD emergency service units came in to possibly remove the hazard.
It's just too much to deal with. It's overbearing.
The Department of Health and Mental Hygiene and the City Law Department are working to get a court order that would allow the Department of Sanitation to go onto the property and clean it without the owner's consent. The Department of Buildings will also be here to make sure there are no blocked doorways that could present a fire hazard. In South Jamaica, Queens, Hazel Sanchez, CBS 2 News.
So that was from CBS 2 here in New York, and took him a long time to get to this house, but Channel 7 covered it differently. Again, I'm not going to play that video because I have to admit, Channel 2 was very specific. They spent 3 minutes covering the story. That's very impressive, at least. And here in Queens, that even made it more impressive. So, that lady needs help. That's all I'm going to say. And I hope this will end up in a courtroom somewhere. That would be reasonable to deal with. Alright, so let's go on, staying on the topic of quality of life. More Queens neighborhoods will be hit with pesticide spraying this week as mosquito battle rages on. For the 6th time this summer, the city of New York will spray pesticide around Queens neighborhoods this week as the war on the seas carrying mosquitoes continues. 2 areas of Queens will be treated beginning 8:30 p.m. tomorrow night, September 5th, and continuing until 6 a.m. the next morning on Friday, September 6th. In the event of inclement weather, the spraying will be postponed until either Monday, September 9th or Tuesday, September 10th at the same hours. City Health Department trucks will spray low concentrations of Amphil 10+10 or DeltaGuard insecticide. While exposure to the pesticide is not harmful for humans or pests, the city advises residents to remain indoors during spraying to guard against potential respiratory problems. One of the spray zones will focus in the central Queens neighborhoods of Briarwood, Forest Park, Glendale, Kew Gardens, and Woodhaven. Its boundary on the north by the Jackie Robinson Parkway, Queens Boulevard, and Hoover Avenues on the north, Hillside Avenue, Metropolitan Avenue, Revert Street, 84th Avenue, 115th Street, Park Lane South, and Forest Parkway to the south. Horizons Boulevard to the east, and Forest Drive to the west. So, they put a very specific map. Very specific. I gotta give them credit. Hang on. It looks like Hang on. Trying to see if this is correct. Oh, okay. That's not the Grand Central Parkway. Okay, I'm just double checking because that's the Grand Central Parkway. Because I'm wondering, were they going to spray pesticide by the Kew Gardens Union Turnpike Station? That would be interesting, I guess, but I guess not. But they are going to spray it along the residential housing of Woodhaven Boulevard by Union Turnpike. Ah, okay, we have the Rockaways getting it too. I'll quickly mention that earlier this summer we did have pesticides sprayed in Fresh Meadows. And it has been like that over the years since the de Blasio administration came in. Alright, other sprays zoned in the Rockaways includes the communities of Arvine, Bayswater, Edgemere, Far Rockaway, and Somerville. Zone generally is found in Jamaica Bay by the north, Seaguard Boulevard, Beach 13th Street, Mount Avenue, Cornaga Avenue, Rockaway Freeway, and Rockaway Beach Boulevard in the south, the Queens-Nassau border on the east, and Beach 73rd Street and Amschel Boulevard on the west. Okay, here we go. West Nile virus. So it's been detected in New York City mosquitoes every summer since 1999. Persons with respiratory conditions who are sensitive to spray ingredients could experience short-term eye or throat irritation or a rash if exposed to pesticide. The health department urges all to stay indoors during spraying. Air conditioners may be used, but you should either close the air conditioner vents or run them on the recirculation function. Anything left outside during spraying should be thoroughly washed with soap and water before reusing. Just want to open my Wondershare because I have to put my service changes up on YouTube for Friday in case anybody's wondering. Anything left outside during spraying should be thoroughly washed with soap and washed before reuse. We'll move on to our next article. And unfortunately, there's some bad news. Burrell Place Jam Plale approved by City Planning Commission and will now go before the New York City Council. So, once again, the war for our quality of life just seems to keep getting worse. It seems the jail on Queens Boulevard is getting closer to being a reality, which I knew this day was going to come. I knew it. Everybody saw it coming. You know, I know it gets me all riled up, and I do apologize. I'm having a technical issue at the moment. Hang on, I just want to fix it. Alright, good. Just fixed a quick technical issue. Because my Wondershare was not loading at the moment. It said, oh, well, we're having an issue loading up Wondershare, and here it comes. You won't see it on your screen right now, but I have to load up the service changes right now because it seems that, again, when you multitask, you have to keep everything on a high plate. That's the term I think I'm going to be using today. To be, let's say, reasonable. Double checking it. Okay. Something is very wrong. I may have to retape my service changes video because I wasn't supposed to have it in FLV mode. And plus, there was a few typos I have to review, so you know what? I'm thinking I'll probably have to retape it tomorrow and then just delay the live stream if I have to. I could retape it tonight. I'll debate that. Okay, so let's get into our article. Burrell placed... Well, let me open up PowerPoint, just in case. The Burrell-based jail plan is still going to try to go through. Tuesday hearing in Manhattan saw the agency vote in favor of the proposal by the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice with recommendations by the Lippman Council to close Rikers Island. But the proceedings were punctuated by the chance of activists calling for no new jails altogether. Now the City Council will decide the fate on this plan, which aims to institute a culture change for the Department of Corrections while also keeping detainees close to their families and courts. A hearing with the Land Use Committee in the City Council chamber will take place between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September 5th, and is expected to be the only hearing before a vote. This is interesting. Former Chief Justice John Lippman was given the task of evaluating how criminal justice reforms in the city could be implemented by former Council Speaker Melissa Mark-Vito. So, again, I don't really want to get more into it. Right, we're not going to get into more into politics. Exactly, $10 billion for cages. I don't know. I mean, this is just going to be crazy. I really hope that the media is going to cover this tomorrow. This is a very urgent situation. The rezoning was also what happened in Kew Gardens, so I looked this up earlier. I'm not really going to get into it, I think, because I just don't see it being important. I must have accidentally clicked on it earlier. Alright, so Ridgewood councilman encourages residents to appeal parking tickets from Fresh Pond Road. Okay. We'll stick to Ridgewood for a bit, folks, because I have 2 articles we're going to read from Ridgewood. With a new afternoon rush hour bus lane in effect on parts of Fresh Pond Road in Ridgewood, Councilman Robert Holden advised drivers back on Friday of a 5-day grace period from being fined for parking violations. Holden made a statement encouraging residents to receive a parking ticket in the 5 working day period after the Department of Transportation put up new signage on Fresh Pond Road to make the end list to the Department of Transportation in their fight to appeal the ticket. The new signs are part of DOT's installation of a bus lane along the stretch of Fresh Pond Road between Metropolitan and Putnam Avenue. During this period, constituents are eligible to receive a letter from the DOT. This letter can be used when appealing the ticket and will most likely result in the ticket being dropped. The DOT confirmed that they will provide drivers with an explanatory letter with the added qualification that the letter will not adjudicate the ticket. Spokesperson from Holden's office said the signs went up on Tuesday, August 27th. DOT spokesperson said the drivers can contact the agency for clarification on wherever they fall within the grace period. Holden made it even easier on these drivers by offering to relay copies of the tickets to the office by sending so, not specific, but looks like people can go to small claims court. Really hope people can take it to court, because let's see what the judges will have to say on that front. Alright, and positive thing about Ridgewood, Popular Pizzeria has celebrated 60 years of serving up classic Italian dishes. Carano Pizza celebrated 60 years of business on Thursday at its satellite location on Myrtle Avenue. Local politicians, including Assemblywoman Catherine Nolan, Assemblyman Mike Miller, State Senator Joseph Abadino, and Councilman Robert Holden came to honor the establishment, share their memories, and grab a slice. So, very positive here. I'm not really going to get into specifics, but congrats for them. That's pretty big, you know? Carano Pizza. So, just to give everybody the name, of course, if you are curious, if you're in Ridgewood, you know, a little promotion right there. Key intersection in industrial Maspeth to get safety boost from Transportation Department in months ahead. Okay, something important here. The Department of Transportation will attempt to rein in confusion around the complex intersection at Maspeth Avenue and Rush Street where drivers are not only forced to contend poorly delimitated lane, but also at a grade crossing, 6-track railroad crossing. In an email that the Queens Courier received on August 26th, Queensboro DOT Commissioner Nicole Garcia informed Community Board 5 District member Gary Gardino about the project, which will mostly include repainting that will not affect parking. As you know, this intersection is complex given its adjacency to at-grade Long Island Railroad tracks and location with the heart of Maspeth Industrial Business Zone, where commercial vehicles and truck volumes are relatively high. The introduction of traffic calming improvements at this intersection will enhance safety for all road users. These enhancements at the intersection of Maspeth Avenue and Rush Street will improve safety by normalizing the approaches to the intersection along Rush Street, and better organizing track movements near the existing rail infrastructure and enhance sight distances for drivers. So let's see what the plan is. That's what I'm wondering. I just want to show you this picture from Google Street View, by the way. Alright, so it's called the Maspeth Bypass, a truck route through the neighborhood's industrial sector implemented to keep large rigs off Grant and Flushing Avenue. The letter mentions chaotic traffic flow at the 4-way stop sign in which drivers often create their own lane on the single-lane thoroughfare of Rush Street going south. This will be redeemed with markings. So, here's something interesting. No standing anytime signs will also be placed at a portion of the northbound approach of Rush Street between 57th Place and Maspeth Avenue, according to Garcia. No standing regulations will be extended by 20 feet on the southbound approach to Maspeth Avenue, Garcia added, as a measure to prevent motorist behavior that may hinder the flow of traffic. Although the intersection can be tricky, Vision Zero data shows that there has not been a major incident since 2010 when a motorist or passenger was killed in an incident. Alright, so thinking to save time, might not really get into that much stuff because I really do have to, because crime is crime, you know? I mean, I don't really want to go into specifics. The September 11th article, I may have to read in a pre-recorded video because, again, I have some important stuff I do need to get into. Like I said, I know there's a lot I want to read, but I figured I'm going to wrap up the video by talking about politics because, you know, that's important that we must discuss that. So we'll get to my former state senator in just a second because I think this is very important that we discuss this. So I really do have to retape the service changes video, but I don't really want to keep this live stream that long. So let's see if I can find it. I'm trying to find it. I do apologize, everybody. Again, that's what happens when you try to, you know. How come I can't find it? I'm sure I can find it somewhere. There we go. If I look for the article, I'll find it. If I search for it, maybe it'll be found. Possible I could search for it? I don't see anything for district attorney. I thought I did see something for district attorney. Ah, here we go. Because this is of important. I'll get to it at the end. Okay, so let's talk about Tony Avella. Following former state senator Tony Avella's loss during the New York State Senate District number 11 election, he all but disappeared. His social media accounts remained untouched since November of 2018. There was a yard sale at his house in Whitestone. Now, this is something funny. Politico first reported on the Board of Elections records. Let's see if they even have this. Let's see if we get some sources here, just for fun. This is just too funny. Is this for real? Is this for real? He wants to run for his old city council seat in District 19. Councilman Paul Fallone currently holds the position, but he'll be term limited in 2021. Avella was a councilman from 2002 to 2009. Ran for mayor in 2009. Ran for mayor recently back in 2017. Of course, in 2011, major upset, he defeated Senator Frank Padovan. In 2014, Avella joined the Independent Democratic Conference along with 7 other Democratic senators. The IDC was heavily criticized for caucusing, separately from other Democrats in the state. Same year, Avella won the Senate seat against Senator John Liu by a margin of fewer than 1,000 votes. But in 2018, the former city controller defeated Avella, securing over 54% of the votes last November. Again, we know who the Republican was. It was a private citizen, Vicky Palladino. And Tony Avella ran on a third party. We know that Vicky Palladino's primary challenger, Simon Minching, lost the Republican primary, but he did get a third-party bid as well. Things have gotten interesting. I'm left wondering, well, Vicky Palladino is still active on social media, but Tony Avella has certainly kept it off-key. And by the way, I want to mention something that I think there's going to be another Republican meeting on September 11th in Whitestone. I don't remember specifically where it's going to be, but again, I'm wondering why doesn't the Courier cover that? You know, at least they should be bringing up, you know, that, because that's an important community event. I guess they don't. So let's see this Queen's Eagle thing. This is just too funny. This is just too funny. I'm just left wondering something here. I want to Google something for a second. I think Rory Lancman is trying to see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I'll just zoom in if I can. Let's see. Zooming in. Alright, he is, because I know that this is he's in my area. So he's definitely my councilman. Just double checking that. Alright, I remember he did ran for district attorney this year. Alright, so I'll retweet this. I know this is an old tweet, but if you guys want to see this right now, this is pretty funny. It says, Tony Avella, treasurer in Whitestone, New York. You never know, folks. Things could get interesting. And lastly, let's talk about Joe Murray. We've talked about him before. So he officially will be the GOP nominee to take on Melinda Katz in November. So I just quickly want to mention that. Back on August 25th, he was awarded the nomination, so congratulations to him. So this is going to be interesting. I hope Greg Lasak is going to help him along the campaign trail, but knowing Queens, we're doomed to have Melinda Katz as our DA. I will be shocked if Melinda Katz loses. I mean, yes, I will be voting. Don't get me wrong, but I find it pretty idiotic that there even is a candidate. And we talked about him, so you can refresh that on the Queen's News Update, I guess, in the last pre-recorded video. Alright, so, again, I really do have to go. I have to get to the recording my PowerPoint for this week for the plan work video. Because, again, I did have a minor typo earlier I do need to take a look at, so it's crazy, but I'm getting everything organized to record, export, and then try to even have it uploaded and schedule an upload. Very quickly, NFL prediction video will be up at 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Hurricane Dorian coverage. I'm aiming right now for 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow to cover Hurricane Dorian. I would try to simulcast the ABC station from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because Myrtle Beach is just going to get devastated tomorrow. So I am going to leave the air for the night. Thank you all for watching. It's definitely got my mind off Dorian, because again, there are stories I wanted to look into, but, you know, time constraints and, you know, getting to the PowerPoint, I really do want to get to it. So thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and NFL video will be up at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So see you all then. Bye.